Hello there, everybody. For those of you who are tuning in to our fantastic series of games on Girls Run These Worlds of I Have the High Ground, welcome to a very spy noir flavored take on this, as you're going to be seeing myself, Angela Lemos Mogrovejo, who uses she, her pronouns and is going to be playing Cassandra, codename the Vine Monarch, is going to be paired up with our own fantastic Anya, who I will let give her character name and all that.
Yeah, hi. I need to go over to the thing because I need to see what my code name is because I have forgotten it. But hello, I'm Anya. I use she, her pronouns. I am clicking on the image. I'm going to be playing Jillian, who uses she, they pronouns, codename Twilight Sphinx.
Fantastic. So, you've all been tuning in probably at this point to a few different versions, so we're not going to take the time to go over all the rules and everything. So we're just going to jump right into our little scenario of wits, banter, and possibly a pair of helicopter parent lesbians trying to
Oops.
figure out how to take care of their kid as they're in the middle of a not divorce.
I just love our concept so much.
It's we've picked a very good idea, and we're going to keep going with whatever we can get out of it. So do you want to
Yep.
start with leading into the scenario for framing the scene, or do you want me to frame the scene?
Um, so you mean just jumping right into the actual scene
Yeah,
itself?
let's no waiting, no nothing, let's just jump right
Sure.
into it.
Let's do this. So, we are after hours, after school, and it is probably 5 minutes to 5 or so. It is an auditorium of the elementary school where our daughter is a student. It is a relatively empty auditorium at the moment because we are just a smidge early for this meeting. I would say that Jillian is probably hanging out by the refreshments, pouring herself a sparkling water, and is just very anxiously glancing around. There aren't that many people around yet, but that's because we're early.
I think sort of building off of that, I'm imagining it's like Jillian's like mid bite of something and is just let's make it like as like the awkward of a meetup as we can. You're like in the middle of doing the no one's around, so you're trying to get the thing stuck, like a piece of like it's like a cookie or something. That's it's like a nut from like a macadamia nut cookie or something, like out of your teeth, and then you just hear a voice of someone who I'll say is I won't give her height yet because that's actually an advantage we can decide very early on between the
Ooh.
two of us, which is one of my favorite little mechanics in this game. Uh, Kind of like warm brown skin woman coming in. She actually has a walking cane with her that right now she's not currently using, even though she probably should be using it, considering she deals with different kinds of like chronic pain that flare up and make it hard for her to walk. But she's not always the most sensible, and like just like coming in through like a side door or something. She's like, "Oh no, oh no, I'm coming. Oh dear, I'm coming in late. I'm coming in late. Oh dear. Oh boy. Oh god, I need sweets to calm myself down. This is going to be a Twilight." Jillian, Jillian, Jillian.
Cass, hi.
Hi.
Fancy seeing you here.
Very much getting like I'm gonna say it's like a snowball chocolate ball cookie. So it's like the most awkward thing that if you don't bite it correctly, it just covers your dress or like your
Yes.
top. And she's wearing to sort of go along with the cape and like cloak kind of aspects that go into our characters' designs and stuff. I imagine she
Mhm.
she has a cloak on that is for the purposes of the game mechanically is her cape, but it's only down to about the small of her back, and
Mhm.
she's using it to cover up what I think Jillian specifically would know is dried blood probably on some points of her dress, like where the cloak is covering.
Mhm.
She smells intensely like lavender oil, which you know she uses a lot to try and cover up that smell. And most people don't notice, but you always know.
And part of that noticing is that lavender is one of Jillian's favorite scents. And so she smells it and just kind of looks at you. And because I did not give a description of her, I am currently cosplaying her because I'm me. Jillian has just short, wavy brown hair. Normally immaculate makeup, but something that Cassandra would notice is that the eyeliner is not quite perfect like she's used to. She is wearing a very neat kind of business suit. Um, I guess for like cape purposes, it's a her jacket is one of those fashionably cut ones, you know, so it's a little bit longer, going down to about mid thigh, and is just kind of sweeping back. And there's like a red silk lining to it that is very, very neat and also replaceable if needed.
I think sort of complementing that, Cassandra's dress is these very like bright motifs of like green and reds, but they're always very complementary, and they've almost always been a shade that matches exactly the kind of hues and color palette that Jillian does. It was not intentional even when we met. It was just a habit of hers to wear that color, and it was kind of where she got her name from. But she has her
Mm.
hair up very tightly back in a bun and a headband that sort of has a little wrapping effect of vines and a little leaf like piece of jewelry in it, like right at the end, that's
Mhm.
like keeping her hair down. You can still see a bunch of hairs kind of astrew, but it's definitely a vibe of like this woman kind of always looks maybe a scotch, just a scotch, like not quite put together, but she
Mhm.
tries her hardest. And I think for most people, except for Jillian, they would read it as, wow, this woman's really got it together. It does
Yep.
not work on Jillian ever.
No, she notices every tiny little detail. Huh.
Hello, beloved. I mean, Jillian.
Cassandra, yes. Hi. I didn't realize you were attending this meeting as well. Um, glances around. There's no one else around the table currently.
Hmm. That's what a mother does for her child. She is present.
Yes, but I thought that we were trading places back and forth.
This seems like the kind of thing that both of us should be here for.
Right. Immediate awkward sip of water.
Yeah, it is just like is looking for it is just not paying attention to the snack she's grabbing, and I think she got one of those like awkwardly shaped and sized pieces of like brownie that sometimes folks make. Like I think she got a corner piece that like when you tried to get
Mm.
it out with like a spatula, a section of it broke off so that it's like crumbly. Like this is a woman who she
Yes.
looks great, but it's just they're also a rather busty woman where it's just falling straight down, and she's just
Oh
like, oh
no.
damn it. And she's also but she's I think unintentionally being flirtatious the entire time because she's very aware she's attractive, but she doesn't like notice it. And
Mhm.
so she's like doing the like because no one's here and she doesn't necessarily know
Yeah.
decorum, is just like reaching her hand like into her bra and like trying to like get the crumbs out. She's like, oh,
Jillian just grabs a napkin and holds it out to her wordlessly.
thank you.
You're welcome.
You look fantastic as always.
Thank you. Where is everyone? I was expecting people to be here on time, but there's only a couple of people here so far.
I think this is a case where our particular professions have given us a skewed sense of what being on time means.
Yes, well, you know, as they say in the theater, if you're on time, you're late. So,
well, I think only some of us are still involved in the theater, last I checked.
um, there are plenty of other things to do in the theater besides acting.
Fair enough.
And sometimes the acting is not the best script in the world.
There's like a very like narrows eyes and has that like pointing daggers at you look. It's it's like very classic like anime shot, like the lightning like spark goes across the screen and like each panel is just like each pair of eyes just looking at each other, and that
Locking eyes.
locking eyes, that feels like a really good spot to like transition into like the back and forth of the turns and everything, if that works
Yes,
for you.
that works
Okay.
for me.
Okay. It seems like one of the first things real quick to decide is reveal your cape, which we have described. Yeah, because it determines who's going to get advantage and priority in this. So who's going to have another little narrative resource to work off of, or who's going to get a tiebreaker win in the event we pick the same move. I said mine was down to about the small of my back. How long is, because we both chose to opt a cape. We both opted to wear a cape. How long is yours, though?
I said that essentially my fancy suit jacket was the cape, and I said that it was mid-thigh.
That means that you get to choose between whether you get priority first or you get to choose from the list of advantages first.
Okay, I will choose an advantage first. Let's see, where's the list of
You have to be taller than
advantages?
me. Remember, this is a very
Oh,
valuable.
yes. There it is. Let's see. I feel like she would be taller. Jillian has tall energy.
Jillian has very tall energy. I really love this. I don't think Cassandra is very tall in that case. I think she's probably like average, so roughly around like 5 feet 5 inches. You're welcome to make Jillian however tall you want.
So that means that Cassandra is this on Anya in real life. So I would say that Jillian is probably leaning more towards like 5'10", 5'11", somewhere in there.
We love this. We appreciate this. We admire this on all occasions. Okay. So that sort of opens up, that establishes, so I will be having priority first. You got to pick on advantage, and so we pick the other two advantages. We don't necessarily have to decide like openly about that from what I understand in the rules. So we pick those, and then we sort of lean into everything else. I will say, solely because it's a cool thing I wanted to mention, because I like so many things about this game, the cane is her weapon. It actually has it's there's certain kinds of canes where they're like kind of collapsible. I'm thinking she has, because spy tech and spy gear, she has an actual whip, like that is like curled around inside and like connects in different pieces to form her cane. So she's never without that vine whip. So I'm going to say that is superior weaponry on this occasion.
Amazing. So I'm taller, you have superior weaponry. Do I have to say what kind of weapon I have, or
No,
no?
you don't. You don't. All we know is that I have it. I'm just mentioning it because I'm a nerd and I want to mention my cool toy.
I'm cool with that.
But you do get to pick the other advantage that you have.
Yes, let me see.
So I love that this game says one of the advantages is just superior fashion.
I know, right? Which honestly sounds like my character. It sounds like Jillian, but I'm leaning towards because it's logical to be your opponent's exact type.
That's not fair, and I
Right?
support you in making this decision so much.
That
Like
is my other advantage.
I'm imagining Cassandra's whole in her head is just like, she can't still be this attractive. Like she can't. That suit can't be that crisp and look that good on her. Jillian's just
Mhm.
looking back at her. Yes.
It is. It's what happens when you have your own custom tailor in the acting agency.
Costume department shells out specifically for lead roles, I suppose.
Mm-hmm.
But that leads us to first turn, I think. So
It looks like each player gets 2 advantages.
right.
I
I
just
better
got
pick mine.
to, yeah, I got to pick the first one.
I'm gonna say familiar territory. I'm gonna make the narrative decision that I've been coming to the school more often to be involved
Ah,
with our child, who I forget if we mentioned her name, so we might as well mention it now.
no, we
Willow.
didn't. Yes, Willow.
Willow.
She is 7 years old.
She is a small, but she has a lot of energy. She takes after both of us in the best and worst possible way.
Yes, exactly.
But I'll say familiar territory, meaning that like I maybe actually know a couple more people more in depth here than you do, and or
Okay.
I've just been here and I'm just like, it's really nice being in here. They fixed up some of the walls. The paint wasn't always as good here as either. I feel like you'd know that too if you were here more often.
Oh. Ouch.
Like that's the opening pre-game like barb going in, and now it leads into
Yes.
all right. So it's each of us. So it's turn one. I have
Mhm.
priority. So if we pick the same
Mhm.
move, I would be the tiebreaker in that.
Okay.
So there we
I
go.
have it on my screen over here if you're wondering why I'm tilting over this
No,
way.
I am also. I have 3 different documents showing me the rules of how to do this, so you're
Yes.
okay.
Okay, so we decide what it is mentally and then say what it is?
Yeah, I think that that's the simplest way to do it. I think it might just come down to a 3, 2, 1, say what move you
Yeah.
chose, and yeah, let's go with that. Let's do that. Yeah, revealing moves. Players reveal their moves simultaneously. So yeah, it is definitely we choose secretly, but always aim for narrative satisfaction. So
Yes.
okay, I think I
Okay.
know which one I'm gonna go with.
I'm just writing it down. There we go.
So
Ready?
yeah, so I'll do 3, 2, 1, and then we'll both say ours. So 3, 2, 1, faint.
Parry. Okay, so you
Parry
have
beats thrust,
defeated me
faint
that one.
beats yeah. Yep. So okay, so
I
first we
was
go.
going for the narrative logic.
Yeah. It makes sense. It
Yep.
makes sense in that one. So I went for faint. So for resolving it off. So Victor offered provocation or bait, and the loser took it. I beat the parry, and I lose to thrust. So when I win, I
Mhm.
hit you in an emotionally tender spot, or I took a threatening action and makes the loser particularly nervous and jumpy. Here, I think. Here, I'm going to offer this narratively. My
Okay.
thought for her feint is that she starts it off verbally by saying, you know, I really appreciate though that you took the time to come down here, though. It's very busy schedule with all of the rehearsals and such happening, and I genuinely appreciate you like making the time. I know it's hard for you because things have picked up and the theater's been very busy right now.
Yes, well, that's what happens when the scenes are changed on you, and maybe some of the fellow actors are not who you thought they were.
It is regrettable when the people you're relying on don't tell you the truth about how much they're dealing with or how much is too much for them. Imagine she hears the she sees you trying to go for the oh, you left me hanging out to dry, and I'm like, yeah, I know, because somebody lied to me first. And I think, what does here, instead of me saying how you feel about it,
Yes.
what does Jillian feel in response to that? Is I think her bar back that pierces is like,
Mhm.
well, I did kind of get into it under false pretenses as much as I thought it was a certain kind of, production.
Mhm.
Didn't turn out to be exactly what was advertised on, flyers and everything. So I
Yeah.
think, imagine it's very much in the style of like, you kind of lied to me.
Yes, and part of that is, Jillian realizing, "Oh, my code is not working here because she meant something very different, and Cassandra misunderstood her."
Oh, that's really good. That's really, really good.
Because she didn't mean Cassandra with that, she meant something else.
That works for their messiness though.
It does.
Oof.
Oh, and
Ooh.
she's just sitting there, like, standing there because she's standing next to the, table still, and she just picks up the saddest looking little cookie and just pops it into her mouth, and it's one of those that just melts immediately on impact with saliva and just dissolves, and she's just deep breath.
I think just as like almost a tiny snide remark, she's like, I know it's not crow, but are you enjoying eating that cookie?
Um, it could definitely be better. Um, she's just kind of fidgeting a little bit now, glancing around, waiting. There are a couple of more people who've started to trickle in, but it's still like just a few minutes before, like a minute or two now before 5, and people are still not showing up. And she doesn't feel like she can leave the situation.
We're like, shit, I'm locked in for this whole thing, aren't I?
I am stuck. Oh, okay.
I have aired.
I have
Wait,
made a grave mistake.
it's like, wait. Go back to the manual. What do agents do out in the field when they're surrounded?
She's glancing around looking for a place to make her exit. Maybe she can like go randomly talk to someone, but glancing around, she doesn't know anyone here.
No.
Okay.
I think that's.
Um,
I'm sorry, I'm
yes.
interrupting you.
No, go ahead.
No, I was going to say that seems like that's the end of that turn. So resolution of
Mhm.
that is, uh, Jillian's really awkward, and Cassandra has her not on the back foot, but has like poked a spot of like, you don't know anybody here. You made
Yep.
like you can't be mad when you hurt me first. And it's like, oh no, that's not what I meant.
It really isn't.
So that's turn one. So next turn, before we do the call for it, is there any other framing into this next moment we want that you would like to do? Because I know I've been talking a decent amount, so I just want to make
Yeah.
sure I'm sharing the space correctly.
No worries. So, Jillian is fidgeting a little bit, and one of the things that maybe Cass would notice is that she is kind of favoring one side a little bit. Like she's trying to hide something, maybe a wound or of some nature. And she kind of shifts slightly and just tiniest of grimaces.
There's an impulse for me to I have this impulse to be like, oh no, that's the kind of thing where Cass immediately is like gets close to like keep you steady, because it's like don't show an enemy
Yes.
weakness. Bad idea.
Yeah.
Never works out well. But I kind of wonder, is that the like inciting like gesture for that moment? Like the starting point is Jillian is like showing her Cass is wanting to move forward, and then our choice of moves will determine how that resolves itself.
I kind of like that. I like that a lot.
Okay, so I'll do a countdown.
Oh, I haven't decided yet.
Hang on. I'll wait. I'll wait. There's no rush. There's no rush. We got time.
Yeah.
It's also just this is so cute, but also so messy.
It is, and I kind of love it for them. Okay. I've written it down.
Okay. So 3, 2, 1. Parry.
Faint. Hey!
Damn.
Oop.
All right. So that means you beat me on that one, because feint beats parry. So that is a point to you. So 1 apiece. So
okay.
So how does this move forward from this moment? Because let's see. Parry says loser offered an aggressive thrust. Or wait. Sorry. I said parry and you said feint. Sorry. I'm reading parry, not feint.
Yes.
Feint. Victor offered provocation or bait, and the loser took it. Feint beats parry. So Victor hit the loser in emotional tender spot. So Cass is moving in this moment to try and offer like support. I think she in my mind is like, look, you can try and be strong all that you want, but everyone has like rough patches and stuff. You can still rely on me. I don't want you to be in pain. I think that's
that's the vibe that she's giving off.
Yeah, she's giving off that in the event that you're like, no, get away from me immediately. And like she's trying to be comforting. She's like, okay, let's try the soft approach. You can rely on me.
Yeah, so Jillian winces in pain, sees you coming close, and just kind of steps back a little bit. And as she does, you see that her wedding ring is hanging off of a chain around her neck. She's not wearing it on her finger.
Oh. Ow. That is really good.
And she just goes, it's nothing that you need to concern yourself with. I have it under control.
Sure you do.
It was just a very challenging stage fight. Yes.
Guessing you're either unfamiliar with the choreography, or the person must have been a little forceful.
The person was not trained properly in stage combat and did not aim accordingly.
It's like there's like a little sigh that, like the thought bubble, because I'm imagining very like the anime like thought bubble. It's just like imagining the scenario. It's just like, if I had been there, I would have killed you immediately. You don't have to worry about a bad wound. I would just kill you directly. It's my love for you would just be one instant kill.
Oh no. That's lovely and horrifying at the
It
same
is.
time. Yeah.
Like, she's. I kind of gave her one of her descriptors as infamous. She's one of those people who like I'm. She has the big "Your Forger" from Spy X Family energy. If she's just like in everyday life, she's like, I wonder what I could make Jillian for dinner tonight. But like in the field, is like, oh no, it's the Vine Monarch. Someone's like choked out, just punched in the trachea, like stabbed multiple times. He's like, oh dear, I got my dress dirty again.
Yeah.
Let's go to the dry cleaners. I'm gonna pick up Willow after. She's just going through, and there's 3 bodies, people passed out right next to her.
Yep. And then while Cassandra is way up close and personal with her kills, Jillian is over here with the sniper rifle. Just doesn't usually get up close and personal, and that's probably why she got injured. Because she's used to having a certain someone at her back, and there was a situation that Cassandra couldn't be there for.
If it works for you, I like that some variation of that statement having been like the next like inciting moment.
Yes.
But I'm going to throw this idea out there. Take it or leave it. I'd like to think like the meeting is starting to get into swing, but it like not everyone's there yet, and it's more like, hey, everyone, just need you all to like start sitting down. There's some like the principal who I don't know, for some reason in my head I just imagine them as like a very like older gentleman with an almost walrus like mustache and like very silvery hair and like a very fine suit as well.
No idea why you're thinking that.
He's just getting everyone, but despite his appear, he looks much nicer than he probably talks. He probably talks very casually, but he's just like, I gotta look the part.
Yeah, totally. If I don't look professional, they won't believe me and think I know what I'm doing.
Are you attacking both of us in real life now?
No. I wasn't trying to anyway.
Listen, if you get hurt by my statement, that's not my fault. So there's distance between them, and it's probably palpably awkward and noticeable to everyone else. So that's the movement into the next turn.
Yes.
So, okay.
As we are like settling down in and like sitting down in the chairs, is it like I said auditorium, but are we sitting in like the auditorium style seating, or is there like a cluster of chairs in a circle? What do you think?
Oh, okay, throw this idea out. I'm thinking the auditorium seats, like kind of almost because from where I was coming in high school, our auditorium were like stuff that like folded up into the back of the auditorium and then folded outwards to actually make the seats and everything. So I'm imagining.
Oh, okay.
So I'm imagining like they come out during meetings or during like assemblies and stuff. And my pitch for the next little scene incident is Cassandra is having a little difficulty getting up the steps, even with her cane. Like she's having like a slight pain flare up, and no one else is really noticing because again, it's the very partner specific thing of like, I'm fine, and like whereas I notice when you're not doing so well, you notice when I'm not doing so well.
Yeah.
So I'm imagining it's like the next version of let me help you. No, let me help you happening. That's my thought. If you want to alter that, super open.
I really like that. I'm also fascinated by the concept of what your auditorium was like, because I just had like a standard auditorium where the seats folded up, but they like were bolted in place. Anyway, like a standard auditorium, a standard theater.
Yeah. No. High school was weird. My high school was weird. High school years are typically, that feels like a pretty generally known fact about all high schools, is that they're weird for everyone who attends them. The
Yeah,
people who liked high school are very
very
odd to
weird.
me. They're like, they
Yep.
were some of the best years of my life. And I'm like, why though?
Yeah,
But so the
that's just
next,
anyway.
yeah, we're going to get off track if we don't stay focused.
Yes.
So our
Okay, yes.
next scene is
So,
that.
yes, Cassandra is having a pain flare up, getting up into the auditorium seats.
Okay. Let's pick our move.
I'm ready.
I'm also ready. So let's do it. So
Okay.
3, 2, 1, thrust.
Faint. Okay. I have just been like so against using thrust so far. I was like, are we just gonna never use it?
Nope. Because I thought of the
Okay.
exact thing that I want to do.
Okay.
So
So
narration
thrust
should
beats
be focused
faint.
on a physical action, hitting a thrust beats feint, hitting a tender point physically, conversationally. So Victor made an offensive move and it hit exactly where it hurts. Thrust beats feint, but loses to parry. The Victor's narration should describe a physical action or dialogue that's imposing, biting, or carefully pierces a tender spot. Why don't so I framed it as Cass is having a pain flare up.
Mm-hmm.
What does your feint look like that doesn't work?
So the Victor made offensive move. I would say that Jillian sees like the imperceptible, like the micro expressions and things like that, the clear signs of, oh, she's in pain. Okay. And they immediately went to, like, without even thinking about it, just like, oh yes, this is a standard thing. They went to go and guide Cassandra a little bit and to help relieve some of the pain from the pressure, and immediately, like, as they were going to do that, went, oh no, right, okay. Just pulling back in that moment, and maybe it was noticeable as well that she did that.
I like that because I think it kind of leads into, I know exactly what happens from that. I think because we've established that Cass is much more focused on the melee aspects, she has a moment of
Mhm.
a reflex where she's not expecting you to pull back. So I
Mm.
think what ends up happening is that her cane swings out in a spot for you to, because she feels like she's gonna maybe drop for a second, and she's like, please catch this, please don't let it break down and then reveal,
Yeah.
the thing inside of it. Please do not, make sure
Mhm.
this doesn't show the thing. But I think what ends up happening is the cane swings out as but she makes it look like she just kind of hit the next step going up to her seat awkwardly. And I
Mhm.
think it kind of hits whatever side you mentioned the wound is on. It hits the spot just for a second.
Okay. And I would say that it's probably her left leg. And part of the reason why she's wearing the longer fashionable jacket is because it's covering up the graze in her leg.
Ooh.
And so the cane swings and hits that, and it takes everything in Jillian to not in pain.
It's just, oh god, I'm imagining it's one of those where like, oh, does Cass try and like offer a joke in that moment to make it look like it was a thing you laughed at, and we're just like, I'm so sorry, I really didn't mean this, but also you don't normally pull back, why did you pull back? They're like both in pain. It's like, Why did you pull
Oops.
back?
I just remembered that, and she's got nothing.
Just awkwardly, like, oh no, we both care about each other.
Yep.
Mm.
Oops.
Just
Ugh.
standoff.
Yeah, and Jillian just like gets to the like not the first seat that she can, but like two in so that there's space for Cassandra to sit down. Like still like um wanting to be on the outskirts of a seating area because of course, you need to be able to get to the exit quickly if needed. But also just like wanting to give Cass that courtesy of being the one closest to that. Like she can deal with it if needed, but she wants to make sure that Cassandra has a little bit extra of an edge to get out.
And may I add more messiness to this?
Yes.
I I think Cass also interprets that as you trying to be sweet. Like he's like, oh, that means I have to walk less, which means less likelihood
Mm-hmm.
of pain and such. Because it's not. If I have it right for me in this ride, Jillian,
Mm-hmm.
they're treating it as like I'm going to do a professional courtesy.
Mm-hmm.
Cass is reading it as, look, I know you're in pain. And you just hit me in a graze wound, but I am going to be nice, and I
Mm-hmm.
still care about you. So take that spot. Because we're already having like misunderstandings and misreadings, so it seems
Yeah.
in line with what we've been doing.
Honestly, I think that it's perfect. And honestly, it might not be that much of a misunderstanding in this
Oh,
case.
oh,
It's totally a professional thing, but it's also a little bit subconsciously.
Lord. So that is the end of that one.
Yes.
What is the next little lead up scene to initiate our next turn?
Oh, I would say that everyone finally comes filing in. If there are other stragglers, they can always just stand by the food or whatever. But everyone's gathering in, and the meeting is actually starting. And Jillian notices someone who should not be here.
Ooh.
And is glancing around, and maybe Cassandra notices them just freeze ever so slightly in their seat.
It's just that feels like a good spot for a misreading and a misunderstanding.
Mm-hmm.
So do we want to choose our move and then do that and see how what like builds off of like because right now
Yeah.
we're ending at the moment of like tension is you've noticed someone and I've noticed you like freezing, so that's the moment of tension,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yes,
Okay.
absolutely.
Okay, so
What makes the most
let's
sense? I'm trying
hmm,
to decide what makes the
I'm
most sense
also
in this moment. I'm gonna say this one. Ready?
yeah, I got it, I
Okay.
got it, I got it. Okay, so 3, 2, 1, faint.
Thrust.
The rest beats faint. We're
Okay.
even Steel, so it's 2-2.
Yep. I'm just writing down both of our things just to keep track of it all.
Yeah, and I have been keeping track. I'm pretty certain you have priority right now because it's been alternating each turn.
Okay.
So you would have won the tiebreaker, so now it'll move back to me for this one.
Okay.
But so I chose feint, and you chose thrust.
Thrust.
So go for something piercing and strong.
Yes. The victor made an offensive move, not mood, which hit the loser exactly where it hurts. Let's see. I would say that it's something that you catch Jillian's direction of her gaze, and she is looking over at this individual in a very nice, like, deep blue, very fashionably cut suit. They have long hair that's tied back in like a little actual bow wrapped around it, like a little velvet bow. And they look to Cass like Jillian's type. And so I would say that Jillian's freezing moment there, where she's going, oh no, this is not good. You are misunderstanding this moment. After there was just this nice, sweet little, like, oh, they're being considerate of me. And then have locked eyes on this other person over here, and they cute.
Oh, I know what the feint was. I know what the feint was. Like, I think Cassandra, like, looks at you, sees the cute person who you have a different type than I do, but also I'm like, she's probably also very cute to me as well. I'm just like, I and it's probably still within earshot of you because we're not super far away, I'm imagining.
No.
But I'm still close. I'm just closer to the exit relatively. Relatively speaking, for where we're sitting, I'm closer to the exit. But
Yes.
I think she says, I know household logistics and school meeting stuff is a bit tedious at times, but it is nice. I feel like you'd be able to get all the details if you're paying attention and not, looking around somewhere else at someone else. Like, I think she goes for it. She tries to, like, offer the bait. She tries to bait you out with that, but it doesn't work. So what does Jillian respond with? What do they say?
Jillian is just looking over at this figure and going, looks are all good and well, but an understudy can never take over for the leading act. Especially when that understudy is just out to sabotage things. Glances over to you.
Oh no. I think
could potentially close down the entire theater.
Ooh, there's a couple of different routes of messiness I could go with this, because the immediate one I think is, like, she reads it as you're saying she's gonna bring everything down, like she's not as capable as you are. But I also wonder, I feel like they're both practiced enough in the codes though to know that, like, this feels a little too off to just be about me. Like, Cass, I think the overall effect is like I hurt myself in my own confusion. It's basically one of those where I'm like, wait, is she saying me? No, but they're also speaking very professionally, so maybe someone else is here, maybe something else is up. But wait, but maybe it's me. Maybe she's being petty. But no, they're not that passive aggressive. Well, I mean, but they could change. She's just like, she has a look of visible confusion on her face trying to process it.
My immediate thought was, oh no, she's Psyduck.
Oh no! Someone does a Photoshop of my face on Psyduck's body. This will be the best outcome of this whole session.
Well, you know what? I'm writing it down now, so it's gonna happen.
Okay. So I think that's the ending part for that turn is
Yeah,
confusion.
definitely.
Like, not full hurt, but I think
Mhm.
the confusion hurts her more because she's like, no, 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 no. It's the spy problem of like, look, I don't like variables not being accounted for. When a variable is not
Mhm.
accounted for, that's a hiccup that could happen in the plan. I need to like have an understanding of all the things that I can control. The things that I can't, that's fine. But all the things that I can control, I need to know what's going on with them. Otherwise, this is not
Mhm.
going to work. And I think that's it's seeding just a tiny bit of paranoia, whether intended or not.
Yes.
Okay. Next turn. Do you mind if I give the framing for this one?
Go for it.
I think the walrus mustache gentleman begins like actually getting the PTA meeting in order. Like people are like standing up, and it's I'm kind of wondering how many different parents are actually on this PTA meeting.
I
Some
have no idea.
I also have no idea. I've never been to one. My mother has
Yep.
only ever told me she did not like some of the other parents at PTA meetings.
I only know about PTA meetings through TV shows.
Yeah.
So,
So maybe it's I will say small crowd, but that probably puts it anywhere from like 10 to 20. Like parents have shown up for tonight to like make big decisions about like
mhm.
new stuff, new activities, or how funding is going to be around like or how the school should proceed on some things. And I kind of wonder if like there oh yeah, let's add to the awkward. I have an idea for adding to the awkwardness. There's like, so we want, like, it's like, it's a suggestion that we have received from part of the school administration that we would like to demonstrate more connections being formed and facilitate conversations between parents. So we're going to put you all up into small groups to talk about, and it's like a really boring, tedious issue, but the biggest
Mhm.
awkward moment is like two other parents are coming over to us and
Oh
they're
no.
super excited. They're like both the like, hi, we're Tom and Chill. We're really happy to be at the meeting tonight. We haven't really gotten a chance to see you, Jillian, in a bit. And Cass, it's so nice to see you like looking a little bit less stressed. It's like one of those like kind of people who like they're insulting us, but like they're really sweet
Mm.
about it.
Yeah. And Jillian just looks at them and goes, "Oh yes, the theater has been keeping me very busy lately. I have been directing a show recently. That was a new experience for me. But it's been calming down now."
Jillian is quite a star. I can say from personal experience to having been involved in some of her productions alongside her, she is quite talented, I must say.
Well, I wouldn't be anywhere without my fellow actors. So,
There's just the awkwardness of like we have to be nice to each other, don't we?
yeah, we do. This is like the subtext going on back and forth between us while we're
Our
doing
thought
these
bubbles
things.
going back and forth are just we need to leave here soon, don't we? It's like, yeah, but we can't, can we? No.
We really can't.
Oh no. Damn it. Mm. So that's the initiating part is that we now have two people here who neither of us wants to talk with. And there's
Yes.
still the other person. Wait, is the other person also joining our group? Is that part of it too? Or is that something we want to
Currently,
save for later?
no. That's going to be something for later. They have just made an
They've
appearance.
just made an appearance. Okay. That makes more
Yes.
sense. I want to be sure I'm following your
Yeah.
line of narrative chaos that we are inflicting on
Yes.
ourselves.
Exactly. Yes. Save them for later.
Okay. So let's. So I have that as a scenario. Is there anything specific that either they've said or that we're both making a move towards to set the like moment before, like what's our moment of tension for this turn, or do you think just having them there is enough?
I feel like having them there is plenty, but also possibly it's a situation of like combating with each other without them realizing that we're combating with each other. That's what it sounds like to me.
Oh dear, I have caused this for myself.
Yes,
Oh
you
dear.
have.
Oh god. Good. Good. I must give myself more chaos. So, if that's the case, I'll give a sec. So let's both pick our.
Oh, I already
Or
wrote
oh,
mine
you already.
down.
Oh god. Damn it. So, okay. Yeah, I'm gonna go with that. I'm gonna go with that. So,
Okay.
3, 2, 1. Parry.
Perry. Oh.
I have priority.
Hey, okay.
So priority takes the win on that one. Oh boy.
So do tell. In a parry win, the loser must offer the winning player a pitiful insult that their character lobs fruitlessly at the victor, setting up a comeback or imposing a physical move which the victor can effectively counter. I feel like our discussions back and forth are a significant amount. Like I would say,
Oh no, the finger steepling is a sign of true chaos.
I'm
And terror.
thinking Jillian would probably, without meaning to, make some aside comment, like while this conversation about like decorations for a school dance, which they're small children, who cares about school dances when they're 7? She's just like, ah, yes, and at our theater, not everyone is able to decorate everything. And she's like just chatting, like having this weird conversation without meaning to insult Cassandra. Maybe Cassandra takes it that way if you would like to
Yeah, I can build
accept
off of
that.
that. Yeah, I can build off of that. I wonder if it's one of those oh, I have an idea. I wonder if
Okay.
it's something about like how adaptable or how flexible certain people are in the roles that they need to take. Like there's a
Mm,
comment that you make about that Jillian makes about that, and
yes.
Cass takes it as, "Are you saying that like I only know how to do like one thing? I've trained in a lot of different." Like there's one of those where it's like, mm-hmm.
Mm,
And it's also nice, and like you make some comment about that, and it's more about like sometimes the people you work with don't learn the fundamentals of like different things that they're supposed to know, because a spy should know
yeah.
how to do multiple kinds of like skill sets. Like
Mm-hmm.
not everyone necessarily has to be like the best sniper, the best
Yeah.
martialist, the best like info collector, but you should know how to do all those as a baseline, and not everyone does that.
Mm-hmm.
Cass takes that personally, but she says, sometimes people are not always able to have the same energy to learn different kinds of things, and they make do with what they can. But it's always nice. It's more important, I think, that and sometimes sometimes Jillian and I have disagreed on this of, you know, people showing up and being consistent, consistent presence for performances and the important, planning moments for the production is also important.
I didn't say that it wasn't important. I was just talking about being able to do multiple things. It had nothing to do.
like seething rage moment of like
more like just frustration on this inability to communicate because they are in front of regular people.
people. We're both like, I want to just speak directly.
Mm-hmm.
I know I keep going back to the thought bubble thing, but
I mean, it works perfectly.
well, no, because the other thing that this is making me think about is that like the joke that comes to mind is, how do neurotypical people do this?
I
How
don't
do they
know.
not talk direct? How do they not just speak what they mean? This isn't even a spy code conversation. This is just neurodivergent people trying to talk around neurotypical people. We didn't even need to be attractive spies. This is just us, like an ADHD or autism, just trying to process.
Oh no. I kind of love and hate that this is extremely accurate.
But I like that. I like that as an ending point for that turn. It was just like, I think Cass is still confused because she's like, "Why are you mad? You made the first move to insult me." It's like,
and Jillian's just like, I'm not insulting you. I'm
you. We're just both of us are. So I'm imagining Cat and Cass's head that's just like, God, can't I just murder somebody? Like, isn't that? Can I just go back? Can I just go kill someone? Just like kidnap a terrible dictator? Like leave them up for ransom? Like, can I do that? That's much easier than this.
Mm-hmm.
Than people. Okay. Next scene. So they're there.
Yes.
We're both frustrated and we can't talk directly with one another. What do we do?
Does anyone need refreshments? I think that now would be a great time to grab some punch. That sounds like a great idea.
Honey, why don't I come and help you with that? Why don't we both? They just brought out some other cookies. I know there's some of your favorites over there. Why don't we both?
Sounds like a great idea. Bye. I will talk to you later. She has already forgotten their names and is just wandering off. But has to help you up because
Yeah,
like you're in her way.
yeah. We're both walking over, and I imagine it's like a rare moment of calm in our little barbs we've been having so
Yeah.
far. Just like, mm.
Hmm. She's like having a moment and she does actually grab some punch, but also says, um, how's your cane doing right now?
I have never been filled with such an urge to use this thing.
Keep that in mind. Glances once again over at that fancy figure in the corner. Just keep it in mind.
Just like looks over. Did you bring work here?
I did not mean to.
Is that the moment of tension? Is just like the prompt of like, and you ending with, I didn't mean to.
Yeah, I
Okay.
feel like it is.
Okay. So figure out the.
Oh,
I know what I'm going with for this.
what am I gonna go with? I think I know what makes the most sense. Okay, ready.
3, 2, 1. Thrust.
Thrust. Ah! But that means that it's me this time,
That means
right?
it's
Because
you. Yeah, because I've been keeping track. You have priority, so it's yours.
I just want to point out we are perfectly
We
tied.
are yeah, this is going to be a very long session.
Oh
We'll see if
no.
we need to speed it up at any given point. But oh my
Yeah.
god. This is even Stevens as far as we can go.
I mean, it's literally just been going back and forth, right?
Fourth.
Yeah.
Yeah. But okay, I
Yeah.
know what my thrust is. So I know
Okay.
exactly what I try and go for. I'm just like like directly right after you saying like I didn't mean to. It's like, what do you mean you didn't mean to? You're supposed to finish the job before it comes here. You're not supposed to bring it to where our kid could be involved.
Um, I did not mean to bring them because they were following me. And I need to do something about it because this is not good.
You're gonna do something here. You know how you know how hard it is to get into this school. Are you even gonna think about Willow's well-being for once?
This is exactly what I have been worried about for a little while now. And yes, it's fine. We'll take care of it. But right now, we need to not let them know that we have spotted them. Yes?
She's so mad that you are right. I think if that works for you, I'm imagining that's what the thrust is. It's not like a strong like verbal jab. It's just like
Mm-hmm.
you're right, and I can't say anything to that because I'm like, why didn't you
Yeah.
think about this? And it's like, it's one, not my fault. Two, not
Yeah.
my call. And three, play it cool. Be
Yeah.
a spy.
Exactly.
I'm like,
We're doing what we have to do. And she could not help that this figure followed her.
just like
This is fine. This is fine. Flames, flames on the side of my face.
she just like right before she takes like a sip of punch, she's like, I hate how attractive you are when you're right.
I'm always attractive.
More attractive. It's like the super hyper sweet punch. So it's so like
Oh,
it's like the plastic jug containers where it's like 2% juice max, but it's got a big
oh
label on it
God.
that says it's like super like hyper apple juice or something, and it's like this is nothing but sugar and preservatives and
Yeah.
terrible things.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, you'd think the school that was so fancy and cost so much would shell out for this, but I guess no one comes to these, so they don't have to.
Yeah, there are usually more people here, aren't there? Glances around. It seems like a small gathering to me.
There, she doesn't want to admit you're still right, but I think that's the lead in into like the next turn is just like you pointing that, like Jillian pointing that out is like, okay, next turn is, do I acknowledge that my former partner is correct
Mm.
or chaos? Which it could go either way, but I okay, I'll offer this. So you've said that. I think an ending point for it is, or like the tension point right before we resolve the turns is, I think the couple comes back and they're like trying to like drag us over, but it's in a, but it's not the, like anyone else who read it is like, God, these two people are so, they're so controlling and passive aggressive. Can we kill them? It's like,
Mm-hmm.
no. You can't kill them. You can't just kill random people. No one would know. They wouldn't even find, they wouldn't even find the bodies. Like if you give me just 30 seconds, just 30 seconds.
No.
But I kind of wonder like to keep building the like intrigue of the scene and like the
Mhm.
escalation of like, oh no, something's off. I think the way they're talking, there's this because we're building a lot. We got inspired a lot by Spy X Family for this. There's like a scene in one of the episodes where was it Twilight picks up that one of the other characters is reading from like a manual, but he's like
Mm,
memorized it, right? I'm wondering
yeah.
if like something similar happens, like one or both of us picks up that like something that they're saying is weird.
Oh. I like that a lot.
Or wait, no. I got it. I got it. To make it even more interesting, we can decide after I say this which one of us
Okay.
is it. But I think only one of us picks up that what they're saying is off. So the tension is deciding whether between the two of us we believe each other, and that's
I
the
like the
problem.
idea of it being Cass just because, like, I feel like Jillian is very focused on the figure in the corner right now
That's true. That's true.
and isn't looking for anyone else at the moment. But she has made you aware of the person in the corner, and that's kind of heightened your senses or whatever, your
Awareness, yeah,
awareness.
like keep an eye out for like, wait, is it just your work or is it also my work coming in?
Mhm.
Because I think we probably both either came from work or like you've had people for a bit that have come out more long
Mhm.
term, and mine is short term. I'm like literally still covered in blood, but I've
Yeah.
hidden it and masked it. So yeah, I like that. I like that Cassis Cassis said it. I think she makes a reference to, yeah, I'm gonna say it. I forget if there's the joke slash curse about saying the name outside of a theater, but okay,
Don't
that
you
one.
dare.
Okay, I won't say the name. That I the play that starts with the M thing.
Yeah,
I think
the Scottish play.
yes, the Scottish play that starts with an M.
Yes.
That I think that's a code that we set up between ourselves to be like,
Mhm.
because that was a situation that was I think there was a mission that was code named that just
Mhm.
went, we were both involved with, but it wasn't our fault. It just went super poorly. We just refer to it
Yeah.
as this is a bad time.
Yes.
And I think she offers to you the like, so has your theater recently been interested in putting on that Scottish play you liked being part of, or but was kind of tiring and a mess? Because my theater company might be considering that right now.
And this is Cassandra saying this.
Yeah, this is Cassandra saying this.
Okay.
Like, I think she's trying to make it out like there's been an ongoing conversation we've had while we were away getting the snacks that led to her
Mm,
saying that. But I think that's the point of tension. It's just like
yes.
problem number 2.
Okay. I have made my selection.
I have also made my selection. So
Okay.
3, 2, 1, faint.
Faint. Hey, it's you this time.
It's me this time. Okay. It's literally just going back. This entire game is just back
Yeah.
and forth between us. I swear to God. But I kind of like that. Okay, so so hit the loser in emotionally tender spot, probably, and the victor offered provocation. So what did Jillian try and offer? Is this a scenario where like you're trying to keep up the charade that we're both aware something is off about this?
Hmm. Um, I would say, oh, this is an interesting challenge. So, I would say that Jillian is just glancing around, doesn't take a notice of what is happening, and just has focused in on that Scottish play, and maybe misunderstands a little bit, doesn't realize that, oh, there's something else bigger going on here, and is just thinking, well, no, that is not something that we would do. It's something that we would not even attempt, preferably ever. Ever.
Right, but it has happened when we were both involved before, correct?
Yes.
So that means there's a possibility it could always come around with both of us being involved in it again.
She's
Like,
just blink, 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 blink.
it's like we're both trying so hard to just not be like, someone is obviously here to kill you. Someone, at least a couple people are mad at me.
Yeah, and it's like above the code, they're just like trying to go back and forth and communicate, and they're not fully succeeding in doing it.
No, they are not. It's just they're trying. So okay, but they've pulled us over. You're still keeping an eye on the person in the corner. What follows from that? So we're back over near the rest of the. I guess we have with how we've established it, parents and air quotes. No,
Yeah, their parents and stuff. I don't. PTA meetings. What are they? They are an existential crisis at the moment.
for us or the parents.
Both. And I will say that Jillian is probably trying really hard to focus on this meeting, but is just not retaining what's going on. And as she's trying to focus in, that figure in the corner is making their way to the front with the my brain just broke on me. What's the name of the person in charge of a school? Principal. My brain was going president, and I was just like, that is very wrong.
We did not name him. Don't make me come up with
him.
another name for him. We're already having to do more than the amount of names.
George.
George.
No last name. He's just known as George. Principal George. Maybe it is his last name and no one knows.
I was going to go with George O'Malley. It feels... It's like Principal
Is he going to break out
O'Malley.
in song?
Damn it. Listen, we've still got turns and I still got 5 more points to win. So we have time.
Wow. The shade.
Listen, it's not overconfidence if you're certain you're going to win.
Okay, so yes, the figure is going over to Principal George O'Malley, I suppose. And just kind of nods at him, and he nods back. And there's just this moment where Jillian is just like, you notice that she's kind of fidgeting with the edge of her jacket, and you know that she is hiding something in the small of her back should she need it.
So that's the moment of tension. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's choose our moves for this, because yeah, I know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go with this.
Okay.
3, 2, 1, Faint.
Faint. Why do we keep picking the same thing?
What?
We're literally going back and forth.
We are going back and forth. This entire recording is just going to be a constant. There is. It's just a slap fight at this point. For point.
It really is. I'm curious. Yeah. I'm curious if some of our interactions at the beginning should have been some of these moves.
I also am. It's up to you if you want to go retroactively. I'm okay.
I feel
with
like
that.
we should. Honestly, I feel like we should. Like,
To at least speed up a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just trying to remember. Where did we get into it?
We really got into it
when I started making the theater analogies.
I think the theater analogies is when we officially like called it a thing.
Okay.
So, but there might have been at least one or two more moves beforehand, amidst the different barbs we were just playfully chucking at each other before I went into the GM not GM voice of now we are starting the game because someone at some point in this recording needs to say it, otherwise we won't know what's happening.
Exactly. I feel like the lavender would have been one that Cass had over Jillian. Even if it wasn't purposeful. Yes.
Oh, as like a win over?
As a win over.
Do you think 1 point to each of us to like still keep it even, but still progress us a little bit more?
Sure.
Because I feel like just seeing like Jillian in general would have been like, it's like, I thought you weren't going to be here because you don't normally show up. It's like, and that might have been like bait.
Yeah.
And then, but you were like, nope, I'm here. Have to care. Yeah. Like you were just much stronger and much more forward and just like, no, I show up.
Yeah.
Because I'm willing to keep trying to work on things. Like the subtext is effectively that's being communicated. So I think that's fair to say both of us are at 5.
I agree.
So we've moved ahead a point. It moves a little bit faster and it plays with the sort of tensions we've had throughout the game and establishing it.
I agree. That makes sense. I think that makes perfect sense.
Yep. So, and it puts us closer and closer to the end. So,
okay, yes. So faint.
So faint.
And it was a faint tie.
Yes.
Faint tie indicates that both characters attempt to bait a response, but the character with priority didn't fall for it, winning the turn by responding instead with an even higher stakes ruse, which successfully provokes the loser into losing their cool or revealing something they didn't intend to. What did you reveal that you didn't intend to, as Jillian's like twitching, like not unbuttoning and going for the gun, but
because I think I was the one who lost this round because of priority. Because I think priority that we had. Because it's moving back to me if I lost track. Even if we aren't keeping track of this, this is still fun. The idea is still consistent to keep a line of back and forth priority. I think there was an attempt by Cass to say to you that it's just like, you're lecturing me on trying to keep my cool in these situations, and you are already going for things.
I wasn't actually going. I wasn't going to do anything. I just thought that something was going to happen, and I was trying to be safe. It was a habit.
If only I hadn't. I'm suddenly regretting bringing my gift along with me. I could have used the extra room for something else. I think that's what she gives up, is that she revealed she brought something.
Aww. And that, like, Jillian raises an eyebrow at. A gift.
I did not say gift. I said something else entirely.
I very clearly heard you say gift.
Your hearing is impeccable, and I hate this.
No, you love it.
Raises punch cup. Once again, More attractive when right. Still don't like it.
Where Anya is laughing, Jillian just kind of gives a little bit of a smile.
The smallest shit-eating grin that has ever
Mm-hmm.
existed. Okay, that is the resolution of that turn, is that
Yes.
Cass has mentioned that she's always prepared, so her leaving room for something else is a sign of, like, what are you doing, Cass?
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Because we're right in the middle of it, I
Yeah.
think I know a thing I want to offer a thing for an escalation.
Okay.
I think they start to do a draw, or like they've been doing a draw for, like, hey, we know that, people are taking time out of their week to just come over and be involved with this. So we wanted to do a nice gift for folks. So we put folks into a raffle to see who would win a prize, and pulls out a name out of a thing, and it's the two of us. And it's like, that's
Oh.
convenient.
Uh-huh. Okay. So like are they drawing just the couple's name, or are they
I kind of
drawing
I think we probably gave a last name. I'm gonna if it works with you, Anya, I think Cass took the last name. I think she took Jillian's last name.
uh I'm
Or
cool with
rather,
that.
the name that was given to her.
Yes.
She was like,
Because she doesn't necessarily know Jillian's last name. And I
I
know
think
that I wrote
she,
it down, but what is her last name?
yeah. I write it down during our prep
Got it.
for this. Yeah.
I found it.
I think she took on that name. And so, like, if you checked a quote unquote official registry,
Mm-hmm.
we are married under, like, your the given last name you put in, but
Yes.
they call us, it's like the Mrs. Both Mrs. Give your last name.
Monroe
You
Nix with a
Monroe
dash.
next. The Monroe Nick says, lucky pair of you have been called, and we're just like, what?
I'm sorry. Oh, what did we win?
Oh, we have a fantastic prize waiting for you just over here in one of the other meeting rooms.
Immediately suspicious.
Yeah, it's like it could just be like a
Oh,
pizza
that's
party.
yeah. That's wonderful. So exciting to hear. Thank you so much. Tension.
Yeah, we're both like, I think that's a good spot to leave it for the move, because I'm wondering, like, who makes the first quote unquote like move that registers for, like, our quote unquote couple's response to that,
Mm-hmm.
to being called
Ooh,
up.
that'll be a good one.
Yeah.
So, whichever one of us wins is the first one to react to it.
Yeah, or we both react, but the one that is taken as, like, the for lack of better phrasing, the lead, and the lead of this versus the follow's reaction, like, that's
Mm,
giving pressure, that's giving momentum to what our movement towards them is going to be, I think is the winner
okay.
of this turn. So I'm gonna choose my move. Do you have yours?
Yep.
Okay. So just reminding myself that last turn it was me on that one. This turn you have priority.
Oh, okay. I had flipped it.
Oh, no. No, if you had it then you are correct, because the last thing that I said was correct. That is me not remembering,
Okay.
right? So it
Yeah.
was me
You
who has
have
it.
priority.
I have priority for this turn. So picking mine. All right, I know what I'm going to go with. 3, 2, 1. Parry.
Paint. Hey.
Damn. I think that puts you ahead. 6-5.
Hey, I will
6-5.
take it. It's the first time that's happened.
There is an actual lead in this game.
Dun, dun, dun.
So
Okay, so
so
the
faint.
victor hit the loser in an emotional tender spot or took a threatening action which makes the loser particularly nervous and jumpy. Okay, so I think that you have to narrate this first. A significant and vulnerable reaction to the bait. Well, okay, so I think that Jillian would immediately be like on okay, I'm in charge kind of mode. Like she would be like, okay, I'm clearing this before anyone else comes into this strange room that we are being led to. That kind of
Yeah,
thing.
yeah. I think um here. I know what my parry was. I think that Cass was expecting you to be much more like ready to be like, we're getting the hell out of here. Like, we're not even going to entertain this. We're not even going to do it.
Mhm.
So I think her being prepared for you to be much more like pushy, or for Jillian to be much more pushy and be like, we are not even going to entertain this thought. We are going to leave. That was her like conversational parry. She was like, I am ready for you to be much, much more aggressive in this situation.
Mhm.
And that's not what happened. What did Cass actually do? Or sorry, what
You
did
mean
Jillian actually
Jillian?
Jillian names.
Um, names. What are names? Jillian immediately just started walking forward, like she's very clearly keeping an eye out, clearly to Cass, not to anyone else, unless they're also spies. But and so she's just following after. What did we say, O'Malley?
Yeah,
Uh, yes,
George O'Malley.
George O'Malley. The alley cat. Anyway, oh, you went out of okay, you're fine. So yes, she follows along with the principal and it's just like, oh, that's so interesting. What exactly did we win now? I'm very curious to find out.
Oh, we've just set us. It's like, oh, we've just happened to set aside like a nice pizza party before it, and like there's like an organic spot like a couple of streets down, like fresh ingredients and all that stuff. They've taken the time to even like give us a nice catered stuff. We can shell out for this every now and then.
I'm intrigued about why everyone else isn't coming along for this pizza party then.
Visible sweat on the side, but it's very faint. But it's probably something
Mm,
that Jillian would catch. Just like, well, we thought it would
definitely.
just make it sort of like a more private for the two of you to enjoy yourselves.
Mm. Well, I think that we should bring the pizza out here for everyone else. I don't see any reason why we should be enjoying the pizza all on our own. Don't you
And
agree, darling?
this visible redness on her face as she's, yes, beloved, you are right in this scenario. She's still like a little like on the back foot from like, she's not normally this. I expected her to be much more aggressive. Why are we not leaving? Is an escape usually our first choice? That's the,
Yeah,
the thought bubble subtext.
totally. She's like, "Oh, just bring the pizza out here for everyone here." And she gestures at this person that she's been eyeing recently. It's like,
Uh,
"Oh, what's your name? Could you grab the pizzas from the other room and bring them out here? I'm sure that everyone would like some pizza. It's after all, it's dinner time right now." They just kind of are looking at her because they recognize her, and she just kind of gives them a raised eyebrow. I mean, after all, everyone loves pizza, especially when it's organic.
it's just like Cass is like sidling up next to you and is offer thought.
Okay.
Once again, take it or leave it. Um, I think she's noticed some of the other parents behind us. They're we didn't really establish too much about the actual org we've both worked for in the past.
Yes.
I kind of wonder if there's like this tiny little insignia that folks keep like on their person that's like a sign of like whether you work for the org. It's the kind of thing that would be very
Ooh.
nondescript, but
Mhm.
once you clock it, you're like spy out in the field. It's among the ways folks can tell, but it's not a full thing because it's like obviously they
Mhm.
would have other measures of determining like we're legit and
Yeah,
we're
like
people
weird
you can
code
trust.
words and stuff.
But
I
it
feel
would
like
stand out.
something like a lapel pin that you know how, politicians have the American flag or whatever they have, what if it was, something similar to that, but different enough that at a glance, people wouldn't notice that it was wrong?
I got it. I
Okay.
know that there's both demerits and like stars that are often
Mhm.
awarded to students when they do well in like very particular like upstanding
Mhm.
schools, and then like a lot of the inspiration from the show we're taking from has that exact thing as a plot point.
Yeah.
What if there is like custom made because it's a really fancy ass school? Like there's a version of those that are you can potentially be custom ordered for the parents as well. So having it would not look
Ooh.
weird in this scenario. It's just like, oh,
Yeah.
they're really proud of their kids, but
Yeah.
some of them had been made and the person who made it wasn't quite convincing enough and it didn't
Mm.
hi- and it was I think they were using the pins that our org would have as a giveaway as a
Mhm.
base, and they didn't do a good enough job covering it up. So
Okay.
that's the tell. Like that's the thing where like Cass is sidling up to you and mentions, dear, it would appear as though we have more members of the theater here.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Good to know.
Yep.
And above board, is this people of the theater who are with us or against us?
I think I will answer that by in character adding the thought nobody is supposed to have been involved in a production currently. It's currently break week as we're moving into our next series of productions.
Very good to know.
That feels like a good tension point to build like who's taking the next move because the rest of this just feels like it's
Mm,
a who is going to be the lead and the follow in the rest of this scenario.
yeah, exactly.
So I think this is pick a move.
Yep,
I've got mine.
I've got mine.
3, 2, 1, thrust.
Paint. And we're
Thrust
back
piece.
to tying.
God damn it. We will never end this game shortly. We're trying our best here. Yeah.
Dun dun dun.
5. Okay, 6. So Faint, you offered a provocation. So what was your attempt that you went for, and then and then I'll build off of that for what mine was.
Yeah. So I would say that honestly, I feel like the provocation is oh, well, why don't you just bring all the pizza out here then? It's fine. We'll share the pizza with everyone. Don't you agree?
Why don't we check in with everyone? Like, why don't we make sure we're being good with dietary restrictions, everyone? Why don't we just like, and I think she like walks over to, I think I said their names were Tom and Jill, who she's clocked as among the set of people, and is
Yeah.
like grabbing each of their shoulders on each side and is like resting on them like hard, like
Yeah.
almost to their necks, and be like giving off the indication that it's like, if you make a move, I'm going to break you right now.
Ooh,
Because
yes.
it's very strong. It's like, dear, I feel like we can't leave people out, and you have to make considerations about other people's well-being when we think about this before we can be nice, but we have to be very we have to be meaningful in how nice we are. We can't forget
This
that.
is very true.
It's
Yes,
like,
I mean, I would be more than happy to contribute to the fund if you've purchased pizza for everyone, and maybe some people don't like pizza, or maybe they can't have it. I would be more than willing to contribute to everyone's well-being.
and my wife, pardon, my yes, my wife. Like I think she tries to go for saying ex-wife, and she's like,
Yeah,
nope,
can't do it.
nope, sounds wrong. Doesn't sound right. Sounds wrong. And it's like, mm-hmm. Why don't there's always the option that why don't we just chat with folks individually and just make sure, just take them aside and make sure everyone's been paid back for if they've all chipped in. I feel like we haven't done our due part, dear. And it's
Oh,
like
I
give you,
agree.
and it's like I think code communicating. If we get them alone, we can maybe take them out one at a time. Because
Yeah.
folks should not be coming after us right now. This is a sign that one of us is fucked up, and I'd rather neither of us find out who it is.
Yep. I
So,
think that that's a lovely idea.
so that's the move into the next one. So I think we can probably keep this going and get it done roughly within our recording time because we started a little bit late into it.
Oops.
We'll
Yes.
finish it. I think we can finish it, but
Yay.
I think this is just, it needs less build up into it, and this is more like what is the beat by beat happening now. So
Yeah.
so let's establish a quick one, then let's just keep this thing like rapid fire going.
Yeah. I
And
have mine.
all right, you have yours.
Yep.
All right, so I'm gonna go with 3, 2, 1. Perry.
Perry.
I think
Whose
you have
turn is
priority.
it?
I think you have priority on this one.
Let's see. I
No, wait,
have
no, I had it.
priority,
I had it the last time
you,
I got it.
me.
Then you won one. So because you had it, and then it was me. So I think, yeah, no, actually, it's me.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's 7 points for me. Which means I'm leading now.
Dun dun dun.
I think. Yeah, I think she's like, no, I'm gonna let you lead into this one. This is just keeping the ramp up. Like it's right at that moment of like, we could set them aside, could take them, make sure everyone's reimbursed. So
Yeah,
what do you follow
totally.
up with?
I feel like she would say, I feel like she would go for the person that she knows doesn't belong here. And she would go for the figure with the hair tied back in the velvet bow, and would say, "Why don't we just come off to one side? I don't think that I caught your name still." And they have kind of almost a reedy voice, and they just tilt their head at her and go, "I'm River Marks." Which you would know is also a very fake name and is very much an, "Oh, this is their MO."
You know, dear, I know you're trying to be considerate of everyone else, but maybe we that's not quite the approach we should be taking. Let's double check with everyone first. I think this is like her parry of being
Yeah.
like, you're trying to go for that and just like expecting me to be much more aggressive. Because I feel like the
Yeah.
parry's a nice like narratively, it always feels like it's like you're expecting aggression and just sort of like, nah, nope.
Yeah.
I think Cass instead sort of like, and like with awkwardly holding Tom and Jill and bringing both of them over next to River is sort of like,
Mhm.
so uh does anyone else want to join us for this? Because I feel like my wife, who always has such a good handle of most situations and never causes havoc wherever they go.
Oh, yes, never.
Nope. Nope.
I certainly don't do that. I just want to make sure that everyone gets the meal that they want or is reimbursed fairly
Mm-hmm.
for whatever they've contributed.
I'm going to offer the idea that the person heading the principal is legit not involved in any of this. He's the only one of everyone else who's not actually involved. He's just like, okay, if y'all want to like figure that out. And there's probably like 10 other parents that are like, yeah, sure, we'll come and talk with you. Yeah, we'll all come at once. And it's just like, no, we just a few of you at a time. We promise we'll handle this.
Yeah.
What do we do after that? Let's decide how the next beat goes.
We'll see who goes first, basically.
Yeah.
Okay, I've written mine down.
I have mine. 3, 2, 1. Penalty.
Faint.
Ooh. Okay.
Penalty.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have to change things up just a tiny bit, you know.
Yeah.
Just gotta let that get in there as best I can. But let's see.
Page 20 if you're looking at the PDF.
Yep. I am looking at it right now. So once per game, a player can use a penalty move instead of thrust, paint, or parry. When you make a penalty move, roll 2 6-sided dice and compare the result to your current score. So you chose, what was it, faint for yours?
Yes.
Just double checking because I feel like that'll influence the narrative. But let's see what happens with this, because I have 7 points, which is the average for this.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's see what happens.
What'd you roll?
If you roll above your current score, you fail, and your opponent scores 1 point and has priority next turn, even if they had it this turn. I rolled 8, so you get a point.
Oh,
so that puts us even, Steven, again, I think.
God dang it!
Damn it! I was trying to end this game. Damn it! But that's fine. That's fine. So I think. Oh God, I think she tries to put her cane away and is just sort of like trying to be braver than I think she is actually feeling, and tries to bait out a rise from all of them. But I think she has a pain flare up in that exact moment that it kicks in. So I think your move takes narrative priority in this next moment.
Yeah, let's see. Your penalty move fails, your opponent scores 1 point. If this causes them to have priority twice in a row, blah, blah, blah. I'm just looking to see what happens. Okay, it doesn't specify beyond that.
Either way, you incite a response from your opponent with that passion that you provoke elicits such an intense retort, you are compelled to turn back around and retrieve your weapon and display serious vulnerability. So I do this. What do you do in response? That is just makes me just not great.
So you go to put away the cane?
Yeah, I'm just like, listen, everybody, we don't want to make this more confusing than we have to. And like, she raises both of her hands, and you can tell she's like, her legs are a little bit more wobbly than she realized. She's like, this was a poor decision.
I feel like Jillian, seeing that, goes over to support her in the way that like they've done so many times before, and just like it looks like oh yes, it's a show of support, but it's actually steadying, and just goes, yes, we should really just go a couple at a time. Too many voices gets a little bit confusing, and obviously gesturing with one hand. But we'll get to everyone in due time. Don't worry. You all stay here, continue with the meeting, and we will see you all shortly.
Okay, so that's 7-7. We're nearing the end of this. So I think there is a distinct. I think you get this distinct feeling from Cass that it's like, do you not trust me? Is this why you're taking this kind of approach right now?
And Jillian gets that sense and just kind of gives a reassuring squeeze.
Can't just be cute and make it go back to what it used to be.
This is important. Thought bubbles. This is important. I love the thought bubble idea.
It feels like a nice way to fill in without having it like be the canon narrative. It's just the
and like the
editor's
canon
writing
code and stuff. Yeah.
the
Well,
comic
also
writers.
You think about absolutely, but also you think about like couples who have been together for a very long time. Often they have ways of silently communicating with each other, and then make them spies on top of that.
It's great. It's great.
Yeah.
I think to ramp up the tension, she's like, "Are you just gonna always take focus and just make me feel kind of insecure about all of this, or are you trying to trust me?" I think she's trying to work out her genuine confusion in this moment. She's like been going back and forth, but like you being reassuring, I think the moment of tension to choose a move is, are you trusting me or just placating me?
Mm-hmm.
We choose our move.
Yeah. I've already chosen mine.
Oh boy. 3, 2, 1. Faint.
Thrust. Okay.
Yeah, I said faint and you said thrust, so that puts you at 8.
It puts me at 8.
Oh boy, next turn could decide it, but this turn, so so going to thrust, I think. Yeah, Victor's narration describe a physical action or dialogue that's imposing, biting, or pierces a tender spot. The loser should demonstrate their hurt.
So leading into, oops, sorry. I hit my mic. Leading into the other room, where there are, I would say, just like the couple and this river person. We lead them in, and Jillian immediately like takes the offensive in front of Cass, because they know that Cass is dealing with a flare up right now and isn't necessarily in the right frame of mind yet, but will get there. And so their thought is, okay, I am going to just pull out my weapon and shoot and fire at these people to try to, and it has a silencer and everything because they're spies. But just have to establish that. Otherwise it's like, yes, we went into the other room and then you heard gunshots.
Yeah, we were like, bad call, especially in a school setting. Nah, we're gonna nix that whole thing. This is after hours. No one is in any way, shape, or harm. It wasn't just an adult. Let's make that very clear for this editing.
Yes, absolutely clear. Also, it is an off section of specifically the auditory. That makes it worse. Never mind.
Yeah,
it's like
I think it's just like a meeting or a conference room or something like that.
It's the green room, let's say.
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it.
Yeah.
I think
it's a very small, cramped space.
Yeah, that works.
Okay.
Couple comes in, you see all of that. Cass takes the lead, fires.
Jillian.
Sorry. Names. Again, so hard. Names. Jillian takes the lead on that. I think Cass was expecting, I think the worst part of her wanted to believe that Jillian was just playing around with her, or like Jillian had set this up. Like she's still working through that confusion. I think this is clarifying it.
Yes.
But it's definitely in one of those spaces of like, once again, I hate when you're right, because I'm never going to hear the end of this.
Yeah. And so she dispatches with people who are trying to kill them.
Yes. So a couple of the people are down, and because you're at 8 points, this leads to me drawing the weapon, which is it's like if I wanted to use this thing all night, like like does like a crack of her wrist, and like the
Mm-hmm.
cane just, if you've ever played Soul Calibur or know people who've played Soul Calibur, there's a character named
I
Ivy in there
actually
who has
have.
a like a chain whip sword thing. It's
I
kind of like
have,
that.
and I have played her. I actually won a Soul Calibur like tournament once via button mashing because I am not the best player of
Amazing.
video games.
I think it's one of those, and it's like fully wrapped around. She's like, there's only going to be one way either of us gets out of this if we make a good cover for the other, right?
Yeah, I absolutely understand that, and this is what I was trying to keep you out of because it was not good, and it was something to do with the theater as a whole. There we were plugging in some gaps, and I did not want to get you or Willow in danger, and I had to be quiet about it. I'm sorry.
We discussed previously before game like that there was a handler who probably was the person who helped you figure it out. I think
Mhm.
Cass mentions it, and it's like, so is that what you were talking to Sunshine about?
Yes, and I'm sorry that I couldn't bring you in on it. It was too dangerous, and I didn't want to see you hurt.
Think hearing steps outside. I'm still I still have the right to be mad. I still love you very much.
I love you.
Do we want to put on a show?
Let's.
Let's let's do another turn to see what happens.
Okay.
I'm gonna choose my move. I got mine.
I mean, mine's probably logical.
3, 2, 1. Faint.
Penalty. Because I can, right?
Yeah, you can. You definitely can. So roll the
I might
2d6.
as well.
You might as well.
I rolled a 7, which is
That's
lower than my 8.
that's below, which means you get the 2 points. So it's
Dun, dun, dun.
what it. So you are the winner for this. So that we are gonna go to our resolution and finish this up. But what does this
Yay!
whole look like? What does this scene with Jillian doing this look like?
I feel like it's a coordinated dance, like because they have the whole theater cover story, so they do actually know some theater stuff, but
Right.
they've actually like coordinated with each other, and they have been in tricky situations together before. And so it's not a matter necessarily of Jillian having one up and having like the pure high ground against Cassandra. It is a matter of, okay, we are going to like do all of those fancy moves that you see in the movies where it's like, ah, yes, you whip around and do this, and then I shoot the person who's about to attack you, and it's just a
Right,
back
right,
and
right.
forth.
Yeah. I think as part of helping give you the cover, because I think that's ultimately what Cass's like lose is that she's like, I have to admit you're right. I have to admit I still love you. And God, you're annoying when you're right. But also, I don't I think she says like she like gets close to you, like there's that coordinated dance that's happening, and there's like the very like intimate, like couple inches away from each other look. She's like, I don't want to get a divorce.
I don't either.
Good. Sorry about this. And whips the vine whip goes out and helps give the cover for like so that no one wonders about how you got grazed. It's just like if you wanted to go sell the story that like I've been being double agent to get info on Vine Monarch, I'm willing to sell her out at any point, but in my head I know I'm like mouthing love you, and that's like the scene of like just me running away from this, and that sort of like ends the whole thing.
I love
Oh,
that.
that was so
Oh my
good.
god.
Holy Christ, that was so good.
I
Very
oh
nice. Oh,
that was so much fun.
that was so enjoyable. Such fantastic scene partner, fantastic person to work with. Absolute
You
joy.
too.
We should do our outros and then
Yeah.
we can call that good. Would
Yeah.
you like to go first, or do you want me to go first?
Sure, I can go first. Hi, I'm Anya. I am Lalion cosplay everywhere, pretty much anyway. I don't really have anything planned yet for August, but hey, I'm a pro GM on Start Playing. I always have things going out. After this airs, I'm going to be in Japan for a little while, but I'm still going to be running some things, so it'll be really fun. Yeah, and just always check out my social medias. I'm always doing things. Oh, I do have one thing actually. I am a special guest at CitrusCon, which is an online boys love convention. I believe it's going to be on Zoom, but citrus_con on Instagram. I forget what they are on Twitter, but check it out. It'll be really fun. And I'm starting to gather people for my panels, and I'm really excited for who's going to be in my panels with me.
Well, I wish you luck with that.
Thank you.
That's yeah. I have always admired your just general like cosplay work and presence like in the scene. So it has been an absolute pleasure to get to work with you on this occasion.
Thank you.
For those of you who don't already know me, my name is Angela Lemos Mogrovejo. I use she, her pronouns, and I am the current creative director for Girls Write These Worlds, which is the publishing house for Girls Run These Worlds. And also, I am a poet, a writer, a freelance musician. I am a game designer who you can find all of my stuff over on Itch at Voice of the Phoenix, where I've written a whole game that is about processing loss and learning to move on from grief, and also done things like written a poetry chapbook for the Slayer's Almanac that I was a writer on, and also I think I'm at 23 playbooks for the Slayer's RPG, and I have 2 more that are inspired by the resident canon, not canon, polytriad from Castlevania of the main trio, and also Isaac, the Devil Forge Master from Castlevania, because I love all of those things in that series, and there's a lot of themes that are really great. And also, Slayers is a very adaptable system that's both got good complexity and very simple to pick up and very easy to pick up. So it's been a good joy of mine to write. And you can find me over on Fridays at Ballad of Conjurers, where probably by the time this airs, it'll be over. So you can catch the VODs over on the Girls Run These Worlds YouTube. I think that is everything for me. And it has been, like I said, a joy to be involved in this game, to having suggested the idea to Anya, and Anya being like, cool, let's do it. And this has just been wonderful. This is a good way to spend part of my day. So
Absolutely. I had a blast. This was so much fun.
so thank you, everybody, and we will see
Yay.
you on another occasion.
Yep. Bye-bye.